Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dharma practitioners, when it comes to practice Dhamma, the meditation is a part of it. So, the meditation allows our mind to develop, cultivate, and make our mind matured with seeing and recognizing. So, this is very special. Why? Because this seeing and recognition we used to develop, we used to practice, we used to maintain towards outside world, from here to there, recognizing this or that like that way. But when it comes to practicing meditation, is you start to see inside you. That seeing is completely different than conventional seeing. So this seeing inside you is higher than that what you try to see outside. So when you see yourself, you're going to recognize what is happening inside you and what is this being itself. That recognition is the most valuable and highest recognition. Not this what we recognize from this outside world. Why? Because according to the time and according to the space, environment, situations, that recognition going to change. But if you able to look inside, inward, and recognize yourself, that recognition not going to disappear like that way. So meditation is develop your mind to see that. Meditation is a method or the exercise to develop the clarity. So the clarity itself within your own mind, that to get out of whatever the greed, hatred, and the delusion. And when it comes to the Buddha's teaching, the Buddha mentioned 5 aggregates as this world or as this life. That is only you can find in Buddha's teaching regarding these 5 aggregates: form, feeling, sensation, formations, recognition. When you have some extra time, try to study yourself, because that is what your life. So seeing inside means you seeing these 5 aggregates. These all 5 things kind of like stay together. You cannot mainly just by looking at it, you cannot recognize it mostly. But when you develop the sharpness and the clarity in your mind, you're able little by little, you can recognize. So as exercise in day-to-day life, if you can try to see separately name and form. So as example, when you say the name, that you see it with the form. So even your own name or any other name or anything, any material thing. So as example, this the pen. So when can you see the pen separately from the name? So that is one of the good exercise if you can do in day-to-day life. So as you know, when you born to this world, then they give a name to you. So it is not come within it. There is a separation. But that separation is very difficult to find. But there is separation. There is a gap. But just by looking at something, you cannot. So then yourself even, that as you know, that name and form, when you see something or anything, and try to see name and form separately. And another exercise, color and the shape. Color and shape, can you separate it? There is a separation. Again, about the pen, the color and the shape, you can separate it. When the mind becomes more sharp and clear. So like that, these all five aggregates, form, feeling, sensation, formations, and recognition is your life. There's nothing else. That's why if you are able to recognize that, that is the highest. So, and at the same time, the mind is the result of this all five. And this all the four things happening, form, feeling, sensation, formations, happening because of the mind, and the mind exists because of that means recognition exists, your consciousness exists because of these five things, four things, form, feeling, sensation, formations. So the consciousness happened because of the four aggregates, and the four aggregates happening because of the consciousness, and then it becomes five. It's a kind of like a reflecting each other. Reflecting each other. Have you seen, you know, when you keep some object in the middle of the two mirrors, and it start to bounce back reflection and create many pictures. So you can see it, but it is the same thing, but you see it separately. So the mind and the other four aggregates the same. So then when it come to your inner experience, when you look inside, the very first thing that you recognizing whatever you experience with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind, remember this in your life. It may change completely your life. Whatever you experience with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind, somewhere deeper, there is a connection to your mind. So when you start to look inside, you will find out it. That inner connection is called mental formations, phenomena, or the sanskara, or previous thoughts. There is something. Otherwise, it's not going to come to around you. otherwise you're not going to experience it. So that is something that you have to be very mindful and see. So the thing is, when we experience something with the eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, we mainly try to look outside. We think it is completely happening from outside, and we create a gap and separation from the outside experience. And this is me. We become centered. This is I am. This is that or this. And that itself not allow you to see the truth. Why? Because you don't see the connection that having to you. It is a bounce backing. It is kind of like a reflection of something inside you. So like that, each and every moment that you go through, it deeply connected to your awareness. So when you start to look inside, you start to recognize this connection. That is very important. It called Yoniso Manasikara in Pali. Yoniso Manasikara means clear comprehension or sati sampajanya, direct perception. In the moment that what you go through, what you experience, you become very clear with that. And there are three things you have to have to be complete your liberation. One is Dharma. Another one is Kalyana Mitra, the good friend, whoever try to help you and deliver you or brings you or take you to the right place. Encourage you. Another one is Yoniso Manasikara. That means your inner effort or seen very clearly within your own experience. So as you know, during Buddha's time, and even there were many around the Buddha, and they used to see the Buddha, they used to have the discussion with the Buddha, and one is King Ajasatta, and another person is Venerable Devadatta. See, even his cousin, and he became a monk, and even he had a very good samadhi, very good tranquility state. Even he used to have high mental powers, absorptions to develop that much. And there are a lot of, even in the beginning, the the Prince Ajasatta, before he became the king, he used to be a very good friend for this Venerable Devadatta. And there are a lot of followers during Buddha's time. So even used to be in the same kind of like a same temple. And sometimes he had the discussions with the Buddha. And there were followers, and there was some kind of, that even the argument regarding the Dhamma with the Buddha. But still he didn't attain to enlightenment. So he had the Dhamma. He listened to the Dhamma. And he had a very good environment, people around him. He had good friends. And what he missing? He missed the Yoniso Manasikara. This means clear comprehension. Deeply look inside. Why we don't have it? Why we not having it mostly in day-to-day life? Because we don't develop the method or the skill to listen to others. So before how you can start this as a skill? So then remember yourself, whatever the environment, and use this method. You take it to your entire sansaric journey. Remember that it's like you collecting little by little, drop by drop water. So whatever the situations come, whatever the conditions, environment, opportunity come to you, use it as a profitable skill to uplift your awareness or the increase your liberation. Keep it as a skill. So this is the one skill. What? Keep openness. You become open to the environment or the situations or the people. Because if you become close yourself, shut down yourself, separate from others, that separation, that shutting down moment of your inner awareness or the, oh, this is me, I do myself this way, that separate you from your liberation. So then this see that even that during Buddha's time, why they had the discussion with the Buddha, but they didn't listen to the Buddha. They really not aware about what the Buddha said. Not about the Buddha, just even around the Buddha. There were many other enlightened masters following the Buddha's path. Even they didn't see that also. So then yourself, how you can develop this skill? Because that is why one of the major reason we are in the samsara. Why? Because we more attach and bound to, we more harbor to our inner own ideas. We not allow open, we not look into something. We very easily become so personal, deeply, we just stay away from it. There are some animals, you know, if 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 they get disturbed right away, like a turtle, you know, right away, but they go into their inner space and find the protection. There are some flowers, there are some trees. If somebody touch it, it slowly, you know, go back to its inner safe mood. So mostly we the same. When situations come, we the same. You have to break down it. That is one of the point that you have to destroy. Get out of that. That is another way. It is a kind of like a comfort zone. So deeper inside, we build up that with awareness, with understanding. And that's why sometimes children, and even they don't want to push their limit and go beyond what they know. They become more comfortable. This is enough for me. That is not enough. That is not where eh, because the laziness or the fear to break down, we go beyond their know whatever the knowledge or the knowing hold them. So they take it as a comfort. So through the meditation also same. And sometimes our inner experience itself find the comfort and we don't want to go beyond it. It is nothing, just the mental habit. So I'll give an example and you will see. So when we observe head to toes and the sensation, physical sensation, and sometimes you see every day, same place you felt the feeling, the kind of like, as example, any pain. So you have the shoulder pain. And when you observe in the beginning just to scan your body and find out a strong sensation, mentally you find out the same place. Your body always moving, changing. So then how possible every day you find the same place right away as the first sensation? Because it is a reflection of your, it is in your mind. It's find the safe mood inside you. So you have to break down it. Without looking inside you, you cannot break down. So then, to develop the sati sampajanya, there are three things: good friends, whoever try to take you out of the greed, hatred, and the delusion, and bringing the opportunity, and the Dhamma. So Buddha's teaching, when it comes to Dhamma, not these gurus, even not the monks, or not best-selling books. It's nothing to do with that. Buddha's teaching. Whoever bring the Buddha's teaching, then it is okay. It is nothing to do with us as monks, because our responsibility is not what we think or what our ideas bringing to. It is nothing to do with that. That if we going to do that way, it is a kind of like the killing ourselves. Because for monks, it's not going to work. When we become a monk, so we personally, we give up our personal life and we devote to the Buddha's teaching. We go in the Buddha's path. So then it is our responsibility to deliver the Buddha's message. But when we deliver, we bring it through practicing ourselves. So that way, and we also safe. And so whoever receive, that person also safe. And the Dhamma also safe. See how that it go generation to generation, that how the Buddha's dispensation, expand in this timeline without anybody. So that way, and the Dhamma is available today. So it is your responsibility to find how, when you listen to Dhamma, remember, it doesn't matter the monk or the high priest or anyone, or maybe he having million followers or world famous, but when the person give the teachings, it should related to the Buddha's teaching. So that's mean 5 aggregates. And impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness. And it always should take you out of the greed, hatred, and the delusion. So those are kind of like little tools and measurements that you can find whoever when you listen to that. So you need it. Why today there are more available, that the opportunities for you to go to Dhamma. Go to it. It is good for you. Listen as much as you can, and look around you, and then it will help you to understand where you should look. So the Dhamma and the good friends, another one is Yoniso Manasikar. So when it comes to Yoniso Manasikar, how you can develop that skill. So one of the first quality that you should have, openness, open mind, listening. That is the important thing. Develop the listening as a skill to develop your spirituality and make it a profitable skill to go towards your liberation. Put a higher value on that listening. So then how you can bring it to your day-to-day life. So learn to listen to your wife. That is very important in a conventional life. If any husband cannot listen to wife, you cannot attain to Nibbana. It's not going to happen. It's a skill. So then in day-to-day life, remember, your partner, your girlfriend, your wife, learn to listen. It is very difficult. You will say, it's like killing you, but remember, it will help you to find a way to liberate. But listen, try it. And when you listen, and always remember, when you listen to it, it is not, don't personalize. It always remember you use this as a skill. And I'll tell you, if you cannot listen to your wife, forget about Buddha. You cannot find, So remember, you develop this skill. Why? Because one day when I see the Buddha, this will help me to listen to that. Then you it become okay. So why? Because you put a higher value on it. So and then conventionally, your life going to become good. Why? Because if any husband listen to the wife, the family going to be okay. So that's his conventional life. It is not, any kind of like a rocket science. It is very simple. Then in all this human history that is there. So then don't mess up with this conventional life, thinking about the liberation or the nibbana or about the no. First remember the very simple method. Use that. So that is the important thing. And use it as a skill, develop it to connect it to your liberation. You will see. And as a wife, listen to your husband. It is very difficult. It's like killing. When sometimes, why? Because they say things, it doesn't make any sense to your life. It happening all the time in the history. When it come to conventional life, you know, it is very hard, very difficult. That's why when the women's gather, the mostly they talk about, that the regarding this, idiosyncrasy of the men's mind. It happened all the time in the history. So then, you know, but remember yourself, have the faith yourself. Learn to listen to your husband. It become a profitable skill in the sansaric journey. One day that will help you to find the liberation. Why? Because look, this is one that even Venerable Devadatta used to live in the same temple with the Buddha. King Ajasatta used to be in the same city with the Buddha, same time. There were a lot of other, you know, monks and the kings, queens, they didn't get this opportunity. Why? Because this is what they're missing. Listening. Surrender deeper inside, genuinely listening. Not holding something and you pretending like listening. No, it's not like that. You have the faith to accept, fully open, not half closed, half open. No, you fully open. Even you die in that moment, you're going to go to higher place. So newness, freshness, fullness, always keep when it comes to listening. So as a husband, wife, develop that skill in day-to-day life. It is for exercise yourself. For children, listen. That listening will, when you come to children, when you listen to them, you will see something beyond their words. That is the beauty of listening to children. So that's, as elders, that knowledge you need. And as children learn to listen to your elders. Why? Because you see in one word, 100 years wisdom gathered. It's so rich with the wisdom and the knowledge than you find in the books. So then as children, it is very important, listen to your parents, listen to your grandparents, if it is possible, and listen to the other people around you, and reading the people's stories, life, autobiographies. It bringing so much wisdom to children. So this is very necessary. So keep it as you do it for your conventional benefit, and at the same time it nourish your spirituality. It take you, it develop the most important quality that you need when you see the Buddha. What is that? Yoniso manasikara, the openness, clear comprehension, clear connection. And that will lead you to recognition. Because if you are not clearly open, you cannot, even you experience it, you cannot recognize. This is what happening. Why? Because deeply mental formations or the sanskara block you. So the sanskara means your previous past experience. It block your experience in the moment. Another thing is start to listen to the nature. Be open. Don't hold anything in your mind. When you come to that 1 minute, try. You will it will take you time beyond the time and space, because this time and space bound to our experience, and listening to the nature will take you beyond the time and space, and that is kind of like attaining to tranquility state, even through the 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 inhalation exhalation. That is what it does. That is what you make your mind sharp and clear. So when you observe the inhalation exhalation, so once the mind become clear and sharp, what happening? So the beginning, middle, end, and this all beginning, middle, end, and little by little, little by little, little by become soft. And then slowly you recognizing there is no beginning, middle, or end. It is just a concept. It is just the moment of experience. See, you get out of the timing. Another one is arising, existing, and change or disappear. Arising, existing, you feel in the surface level, you feel sensation, the feelings arising, existing, and disappearing. But when the mind becomes sharp, sharp, clear, you don't see like that way any sensation. In that arising, in that very moment, it arising with the disappearance or the change. That is where you come to a point. Emptiness. See, you get out of the space. How you can explain the emptiness? You to emptiness in space, explain the emptiness, you need the space. So from this wall to that wall, it's empty. From this place to that place, empty. So you always find a place, empty space to exist yourself. So like that, this time, so through the breathing, you recognize this and you break down the timeline. When the mind becomes sharp and clear, you get out of the timeline. And the space, when the mind becomes sharp and clear, you get out of the space. When the mind get out of the time and space, that is the very first step you get attaining to liberation. So even when you listen to the nature, and slowly you develop that skill, because when you listen it to the nature, it bringing the quality to experience, get out of the time and space. Try it. You have to do it. You know, this path, this walking in this path is so beautiful. It is just not just sitting, you close your eyes and you know that you just spend little time end of the day. So you are so rich with, higher experience. So only thing is activated. It is all deactivated inside you. Why? Because of unnecessary information you gathered. You wasting your time for unnecessary things mostly. So through practicing meditation means you take out all these things and start to to get the important things as important, and valuable things as valuable, necessary things as necessary, important things as important. So that's how you settle down your life. And then that will help you to conventionally become very good life and successful life. And then that conventional success is the very sign that you recognizing you're spiritually going to become successful. So then rather than holding it to something, attaching into something, harboring to something, fighting, struggling, resisting, you know, so this life is like a war. It's never going to end. It's keep going, keep going, keep going. And but there is another way that you can, develop this spiritually. Go with the situation and keep the open heart and accept, welcome the situation. Why? Knowingly, there is a part in you to relate it to that. If you resist, then what will happen? You stronger the current. You cannot escape from it. So in the very first level, if you are able to receive, you reduce the current. So that is a deeper psychological method. But just try to practice conventionally. That's why whatever, you know, the happening around you, learn to accept. So that will find a path. Find a path. So don't try to resist, don't try to look something, separately. So that will help you to find this path and keep that openness. So that openness will bring the ability to develop the sati sampajanya, or the clear comprehension. And that will develop your awareness, and that awareness will help you to find the way to liberation. So that is the quality that you have to have. So with that, I bless upon everyone with this good practice. May all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding, and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityo vajjantu sabbarogo vinassatu mate bhavattantarayo sukhi dikayuko bhava. Ittavata cha ammihi sampadang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Idammi punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.